we're cracking open a pretty remarkable ancient text. It's less about abstract philosophy and more like a user's manual for the human body, a practical guide to living a long, healthy, and, meaningful life.
So let's just dive right in. The text we're talking about is the Ashtanga Hrudaya, a cornerstone of Ayurveda. And the big idea here isn't just about avoiding getting sick. No, it's about creating a roadmap for life that's absolutely brimming with vitality. I mean, the text really gets straight to the point, doesn't it? It frames health as the essential tool that lets us go after life's bigger goals. The whole idea is, without a long and healthy life, achieving our real purpose, well, that becomes incredibly difficult. So, what exactly is that purpose?
The Ashtanga Hrudaya lays out these 4 huge aims. First, there's Dharma. That's all about living an ethical, righteous life. Then you've got Artha, which is about creating prosperity, but doing it the right way. Kama is about enjoying the pleasures of life, fulfilling those desires. And finally, Moksha. That's the big one, spiritual liberation. The text argues that good health is literally the vehicle that carries us on this entire journey.
Now, the system that underpins all of this is Ayurveda, which you can translate as the science of life. And the Ashtanga Hrudaya? It's basically a masterclass in its core principles, starting with the 3 fundamental forces that are said to govern our very existence.
So, at the very heart of this ancient system, you'll find the 3 doshas. Now, think of them as these fundamental bioenergies or forces that run everything your body and mind do, from breathing to thinking. Honestly, understanding them is the key to understanding your own health.
First up, we've got Vata. This is the energy of movement. It's behind every single impulse, every breath, every beat of your heart. When your Vata is in balance, you feel energetic, creative, alive. But when it's out of balance, you might feel anxious, a little scattered, or notice things like dry skin.
Next up is Pitta, which is the energy of transformation. The easiest way to think of it is as your body's inner fire. It governs your digestion, your metabolism, all that good stuff. And you can see its qualities here, like hot and piercing, that totally describes its sharp, transformative nature. This is why a balanced Pitta brings intelligence and drive. But when that inner fire gets a little too high, it can show up as irritation, inflammation, or just plain burnout.
And finally, there's Kapha. Kapha is the energy of structure and stability. It's kind of the glue that holds you together. You can see its qualities right there: heavy, slow, stable. This is the force that gives us strength, lubrication, and immunity. In balance, Kapha makes you feel calm and loving. But when it gets excessive, it can lead to that feeling of sluggishness, maybe some weight gain or congestion. And this is where it gets really cool. The text gives us this fascinating map of the body. While these energies are, of course, everywhere, it shows us their primary homes. So you've got Kapha up in the chest, Pitta in the gut, and Vata down in the lower body. This is such a practical clue for understanding where imbalances might actually show up in your body.
So how do these 3 forces come together? I mean, they don't just exist in a vacuum, right? For every single one of us, they combine in a completely unique ratio to create a personal blueprint for our health.
This unique constitution has a name. It's called your Prakriti. And according to the text, it's set the moment you're conceived and it stays with you for life. So knowing your Prakriti, it's like having a personalized user manual for your own body. It tells you exactly which foods, activities, and environments are going to support your health and which ones might just throw you off balance.
Now these doshas, they have a direct influence on the body's 7 core tissues, which are called dhatus. Think of it like a biological assembly line. They get nourished in sequence, starting with plasma and going all the way to reproductive tissue. And this is so crucial because it means the health of each tissue directly depends on the health of the one that came right before it. A little weakness early on can affect the entire system down the line.
So, what's the most crucial point? It's this. The text really boils down the definition of health and disease into one elegant concept. Health isn't some static state. It's a dynamic, ever-shifting equilibrium among the 3 doshas. And disease? In its simplest form, it's just a disruption of that beautiful balance.
Okay, so if health is really all about balance, then how in the world do we maintain it? Well, this is where the Ashtanga Hrudaya gets incredibly practical. It offers us a guide for aligning our daily lives with the much larger rhythms of nature.
This text lays out a specific daily routine, a Dinacharya, that's a day with clarity and energy. This includes waking up before sunrise, when the mind is supposedly at its clearest, doing a self-massage with warm oil to nourish the body, and, this is interesting, exercising only to half your capacity. The goal isn't exhaustion, it's to build strength without creating a bunch of stress. And then the text applies this very same principle of rhythm to the entire year. It actually splits the year into two main periods, one where the sun's intensity kind of drains our strength, and another where the moon's cooling nature gives it back. And for each of the 6 seasons within these periods, the text recommends specific foods and lifestyle changes to help us stay in harmony with our environment.
The text also gets super specific about listening to your body's signals. I love this part. It lists several natural physical urges that you should never ever suppress. The logic is that holding these things back actually obstructs the natural flow of energy, especially Vata, the force of movement, and that can lead directly to disease. Makes sense, right? So, let's put all these pieces together. What's the ultimate message of the Ashtanga Hrudaya? Well, it really comes down to a few core principles for living a healthy, balanced life.
At its very core, the text argues that health and disease are direct results of our choices. It's not random. When our actions, how we use our senses, and our relationship with time are all in harmony, that's health. But when they're misused, too much, too little, or just plain wrong, that is the root cause of disease.
And here's a fascinating contrast. While we should never suppress the body's physical urges, the text is adamant that we should suppress negative mental and emotional urges. It points to things like greed, envy, and hatred as mental toxins that absolutely must be controlled if we want true well-being.
And here it is, the secret, laid out in plain terms. It's not about some magic pill, it's about consistent, mindful choices. It's a daily practice of eating well, acting wisely, keeping your emotional balance, and cultivating qualities like compassion and truthfulness. This is the path to becoming free from all diseases.
Ultimately, the Ashtanga Hrudaya leaves us with a really profound question. It suggests that the deepest wisdom for our health isn't something external, but something internal. It's all about learning to listen,